There's a ton of things they don't tell you about whenever you buy a set of aftermarket aluminum heads that you need to know, so that you're not chasing your tail for days and days getting this part and that part and this piece and that piece. I'm going to give you the list, and this is what I had to go through because these are my first in 30 years. First things first, as you can know that these were made in the 70s. These are brand new. These are a set of 882 cast irons from 1976, which officially makes them 50 years old, okay? So 50 years of use and abuse, but still, you got to think at least 30 years worth of use, okay? So they've done their time. These are brand new. The heads are new, the valves are new, springs, locks, retainers, everything is new. Guide plates, studs, they're all new, okay? So you have, hopefully, if everything works out right, 50 years of use out of these. But that's the first thing, is that just there's going to be, you got to tap threads, you got to make sure they're not cracked, you got to work on them, but these are already done, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing, I don't know if you've noticed, but these are on rags, okay? This is a stainless steel bench. You have to be careful with aluminum heads, moving them around, spinning them, doing whatever, because if you set them on a material that is tougher, as stronger and not as soft as aluminum, they will scratch. You will get little corner dings. You will get, if you treat them, if you don't respect them, you might mess them up, okay? Get a scratch in the mating surface, something like that. That's an important thing. So that's why these are on rags, and I'm being very careful about how I handle them, right? Because they're soft. They are soft. They are all 100% aluminum. Where the cast iron, you can beat it with a hammer, it ain't gonna hurt it. That's the first thing. Number two, spark plugs. Now, this one, I didn't know about it until I got them, and I had to mess with them. Okay, so this is your typical, this is what came off of these heads. These are your typical half-inch threaded AC Delco T45s. Okay, this is like the standard plug that I run. In these, because that'll come flush with the spark plug hole, right? In these, you have to have extended thread plugs, 3/4 of an inch. And that's what these are. These are also AC Delcos. They're 41-629s. 41-629. They are a 3/4 inch threaded, so that they'll go all the way in, and they thread. They have to get into the combustion chamber and thread up. Oh, if you guys are watching, what have you done for your hot rod today? Help support the channel. So if you put this one in, it leaves a whole bunch left. You got to use an extended tip plug, and it's also got to have the washer. See it? It also has to have this crush washer on it. It's very important. You don't want to gall threads. Okay, that's number two. Number three, temp sensor. Okay, this one is designed for this half-inch hole in this head. All right. Well, guess what? These don't have half-inch holes. They have 3/8 holes. So I went and got a Master Pro, and this is 2-8335 Master Pro from O'Reilly's. Should fit. Yes. All right. So, and it also, if you notice, it also hangs lower. So there's more clearance for, because this one I had to actually, this one I actually had to clearance a little bit on the header manifold to clear this because it's so big. This one is already set down lower. It's closer to the base plate of the head. It'll give you a better reading. Plus it gives you more room for the header flange. It's a 3/8, and you have to, I think we looked it up under a 86. Yeah, no, we looked it up under a 78 Chevy 350 Silverado, and it came up. The next one is head studs or head bolts. Can't use head bolts on aluminum heads. All right, now do you know why? because a steel bolt will gall into this aluminum. No matter how much pre-lube you use or whatever, you have to use washers with. Now, these will expand and contract and expand and contract just like the intake manifold does, okay? You got to have studs to keep them in place. And see, I already got them in place. The other thing is that I'm going to have to take the headers off because I literally cannot get the heads on the block now with the studs in place. There's not enough room. The header just will not move far enough out of the way for me to get the head on, okay? So we're going to have to unbolt and take them out. Not a big deal. Thread sealer, I use the Velcro Permatorque because I cleaned this up with a straight edge, and we're using Velcro part number 773 PT2 because it's a little thicker and it'll help any kind of imperfections on that block. It'll help fill that in and seal it up better. But the thing is that with a head bolt, it has, you know, the shank is thinner than the bolt itself. It has a thick spot on the top underneath the head and then the threads. And with the dowel pins, with the cast iron, it doesn't swell as much. It doesn't fluctuate size. That's why on aluminum intakes, because the cast iron doesn't swell as much, that's why you get that 120 thousandths movement every time it gets hot and cold, and that's what wiggles out the valley gaskets. Going to have the same thing with the aluminum heads. They're going to swell, they're going to get smaller, swell, get smaller, swell, get smaller over time. So you want them to stay as still as possible. And the only way to do that is studs, because the stud doesn't have that shank right here, the thick spot right here, and then it gets thinner as it goes down. It stays all the same size all the way through. So this gives that head less chance to flex and move. All right, got to use studs, and these are ARPs. And I bought the ARP set, and this is a hex head. Now they make two types, okay? They make a hex head, which is a 6-point regular bolt head, and then they make a 12-point, and I don't have any 12-point sockets. So they make just a stock replacement kit for iron heads. They make an aftermarket head kit, and but this is hex head 6-point, and it was actually $20 cheaper than the 12-point. Next thing to talk about is weight. All right, so I've got this zeroed out. Error. Come on. There we go, 0. All right, we're going to do the cast iron head first. Let's see what this thing weighs. 47.25 pounds dressed, okay? 47.25. All right. And then we back to 0. Yep. 23.75. That's a huge difference. 47.25, 23.75. That's half. Do the math. 47.25 times 2. That's 47. That's 100. That's 47. That's 94.5 pounds. 94.5 pounds. So 23.75 is 47.5 pounds. 47.5 pounds to 94.5 pounds. That's 50 pounds off the front end of this truck. And all you guys know that 100 pounds is 1/10 of a second. So we're already gaining just by doing this. Hey, if you're here and you're watching, smash that like button. Other parts I had to buy. I had to buy studs from Summit. There's your part number from Summit. Studs. Very economical. Very cheap. Also bought Summit guide plates. There's your part number right there. Guide plates. All right. So we're losing 50 pounds off the nose of this truck, which is a plus. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to flow better. Oh, one last thing I wanted to tell you about. These right here, these combustion chambers. These things are 64cc combustion chambers, okay? These are 74s. Smog from the factory, you know, emissions, all that kind of good bits from the 70s. We're going to gain about a point of compression ratio just by changing these up, which again is more horsepower just from the compression ratio, which I might have to adjust the timing a little bit. I'm not quite sure, but that's another thing they don't tell you, that because you're changing bowl sizes and valve sizes. These are the 194s. These are 202, 160s, 195, 150s. They already hardened exhaust seats all the way around, which this the 82s was the only smog head that came with hardened exhaust valve seats. As you can tell, these are still sitting up top, and these are sunken in. Okay, so they're about at the end of their life. Okay, they're already completely sunk in. Some are good, some are bad. Again, 50 years. So this is a set of DNA. There'll be a link down below for these. There'll be a link down below for all this stuff that I've used on here, including the plugs, the plug number, all that. There's just a bunch of little things that you have to do. And oh, I found one. I wanted to show it to you. You know how I was talking about the shafts on the studs? See, there's your little, this is it. That little piece of meat right there on that bolt, because the shank is actually smaller than the threads, okay? That little shank right there is what holds a cast iron head in place. And the dowel pins. This won't work for these. If you wanted to try to use these, you could buy hardened washers, but you have to put washers because you can't use this head bolt on these heads. It will mar and bite in and screw up a whole lot. It'll mess things up and put little chips in everywhere. So you got to use studs on aluminum heads. Or I would recommend using studs on aluminum heads. But we're going to put these on, and we're going to spend the weekend. We're going to get this truck back running. That will be coming up in a couple of weeks. Did you know we have a memberships now? And my members get special stuff nobody else gets to see. So if you'd like to be part of that, like see behind the scenes stuff, or just even ask questions, just one-on-one, check out the memberships. Get this thing running, get the compression ratio up, get it breathing better, making more power. We're going to see, I'm not changing anything. I'm not doing anything to the intake or anything. I'm just changing the head. So we're going to have a real world test of how much this will help this engine, because the engine is fine. It's been running rich. I figured that out. It's been running real rich because half of this top of the pistons are washed clean. Okay, so we're gonna have to address that issue. This may help with that issue, but there's gonna be a lot coming up, and everything's gonna be verified through the dragging and the time slips and everything. So there's gonna be a big race coming up middle of September at the local drag strip, which I'm going to. I didn't decide I'm going to go. That's why I want to get this done and get this going, because there is a street class there, and we're going to see how we can do. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of things going on for the next several months when it comes to Bam-A-Lam and performance and trying this and trying that and see what works, what doesn't work. So stick around. There's going to be a lot to it. I appreciate all you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Smash that button. Hit that bell. Tell your friends. Share this out to everybody that you can think of. We'll see you next time. So if you want to see my best little video ever made, right here. If you want to see the one that they say is best for you, is right there. Y'all be good.